KOs off a third-round TKO of Luis Boutron in Ecuador in December, but lost previously in just 83 seconds in his rematch with Gerald McClellan. He was looking to avenge that fifth-round TKO loss to McClellan in '93 when he was dethroned, having held the belt for about 3 years. That snapped a string of 4 successful title defenses, 17 consecutive victories, 16 by knockout. In his prime, pound for pound, one of the most powerful and explosive punchers in the world tonight. He hopes to regain that form against the #1 contender.
Here he comes.
All time. All time. All time.
He's my brother, he's my friend, and he Joe Scotty Law. A man of action and not much talk. My son, let me tell you about this Jackson man. He's got so much power in both of his hands. That's the Hawk. Julian Jackson, the Hawk. Julian Jackson, the Hawk. Julian Jackson, the Hawk. Hawk, Hawk with an everlasting spark. He always hits the mark. That's the Hawk.
Julian Jackson, a man who used to live life of the fast lane, now a born-again Christian. His brother, a pastor, convinced him to change. Says he made the transformation to Christianity at the St. Thomas Airport en route to Las Vegas in '87 when he won the vacant WBA junior middleweight crown. Learned to fight as a member of a street gang, but really turned things around through boxing. A model family man, Jackson visits prisons and detention centers now to help counsel troubled people. And let's get a look at #1 rated middleweight contender Agostino Cardamone, who makes the long journey from Montoro in Ferrari, Italy. The 29-year-old Cardamone, a southpaw, making his American debut in the ring. He has done all of his pro fighting in Italy, France, and Spain, winning the Italian middleweight championship in '92, adding the European title in '93, and defending it 4 times. The latest, a decision over Sean Cummins this past November. Cardamone relinquished the European title in December to pursue the world crown. He's undefeated, 23-0, but only 9 knockouts. Agostino Cardamone getting his first shot at a world championship here. The former Italian and European middleweight champ, rated in the top 10 by all 3 major boxing organizations. As mentioned, #1 by the WBC, also #4 by the WBA, #7 by the IBF. Tonight, though, a chance to become a world champion. Time now to check the numbers. Let's go to the tail of the tape. The biggest disparity is in age. Jackson at 34, 5 years older than Cardamone. The height nearly even, both beating the weight standard at 160, and the reach almost the same. And of the WBC rules for this championship, about 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at the Aud in Worcester, Mass, closing in on the fight for the vacant WBC middleweight championship between top-ranked and unbeaten Agostino Cardamone and #2 rated Julian the Hawk Jackson. Set for the official introductions. Let's go up to our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Worcester Memorial Auditorium in Worcester, Massachusetts, as we have a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions, along with La Cerveza Más Fina Corona Beer. At this time, we present the first of our world title feature bouts of the evening, the WBC Middleweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor at ringside Mario LaTraverse, along with the Massachusetts State Boxing Commission, the Chairman Dr. Wilbert Skeeter McClure. Introducing to you the judges appointed for this bout, scoring at ringside, Tony Castellano, Richard Flaherty, and Tommy Kazmarek. I present to you now the referee in charge of this bout, working in this, his 86th world title bout, Marty Denkin. All right, fans, here we go with the vacant WBC Middleweight Championship of the world, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red and blue trim, fighting out of and representing St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. He weighed in at the middleweight limit of 160 pounds. His outstanding record includes 50 wins, 3 losses, 46 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2-time world champion, who is currently ranked the #2 middleweight contender by the WBC. Please welcome the hard-hitting Julian, the Hawk Jackson. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 12-round championship bout, wearing black trunks with golden trim, hailing from Montoro Inferiore, Italy. He weighed in the same weight as his opponent at an even 160 pounds, and he is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with 23 wins, no losses, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former Italian and European middleweight champion and the current WBC #1 middleweight contender in the world, introducing the undefeated Agostino Cardamone. Once again, we have your referee in charge now to give instructions, Marty Denkin.
Room. This is where the punches will be low below here. Julian, you know there's a language barrier. He understands Italian and he understands Spanish. And so when I talk to him, I don't want you to think I'm instructing him. Okay? Buona fortuna. Good luck.
Final instructions from veteran referee Marty Denkin, Southpaw Agostino Cardamone from Italy. Big contingent of Italian fans on hand, and there is the Hawk, Julian Jackson, up until recently regarded by many as the most powerful puncher pound for pound in the world. Lively, upbeat, energized crowd here in rainy Worcester, Massachusetts. Little delay as they finally apply the mouthpiece to Cardamone, and now we're set for round 1, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Middleweight Championship, which is vacant.
Right off the bat, you can see Julian Jackson's bigger than he is, and eager to start taking the fight to the body of Cardamone. He knows Cardamone wants to last these beginning rounds out by boxing and then start his work.
Against Jackson tonight, Cardamone told us he hopes to go 3 or 4 rounds, see what kind of condition Jackson is in both physically and psychologically, and take it from there. But he is ready for 12 rounds. We're told that Cardamone has an excellent chin, lots of heart.
Well, we asked him yesterday, you change back and forth. He says, I won all my fights left-handed. Why should I change? He's got a good point there. I don't believe guys should change back and forth, if I keep saying, but this guy's a legitimate southpaw, and he likes it.
And he is undefeated at 23-0, rated #1 by the World Boxing Council. He doesn't have what you would call a sophisticated style, the major boxing skills overall, but he is in great shape. A survivor, a fighter. He has a good head and always in the fight. Pretty good left by Cardamone.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have a big knockout punch. Julian Jackson, who did get knocked out twice, but by a guy that could knock this building down with punch, Gerald McClellan. To be tested. He's going to be tested tonight. Let's see what happens when he gets hit right on the beat.
In his prime, Jackson with explosive knockout power, particularly in his left hook. Also an excellent right hand. But you point out Cardamone not with the knockout power, only 9 KOs in his 23 wins, so power not his forte. But if he does exhibit any power, it's usually through the left hand. Here's a good left by Jackson that got through.
Julian being very patient here. I mean, usually he swarms because he's got this big punch. But he's being patient. Could be a sign of old age when you just don't come on like you used to. The guy's got all the electricity here. It's Cardamone. He's fighting, physically kind of.
Cardamone coming on, and he's got Jackson momentarily down. Cardamone with a flurry. Not letting up.
That's a surprise. That's a big surprise.
Jackson in trouble here at the end of round 1. 30 seconds left.
I don't know how much trouble he's in. He's trying to test this kid to see what he's got and try to sneak in a punch.
Well, he's cut under the left eye is Julian Jackson.
Rolling cut under the eye. Cardamone is really swarming.
What an end to the first round by Cardamone. There's a heavy left hand that was blocked by Jackson. Jackson misses with a left hook as we head for the bell. Tremendous round for Agostino Cardamone of Italy.
You're all right. Just got hit with a good punch. You're okay. You're all right. Just hold your composure, Julian, and get yourself back together, okay? All right? You got to skip in a little bit more, Julian. You're sitting back. Remember we said in camp how you got to close that gap? All right? You got to double your jab up and feed.
Let's take a couple of looks at this surprising turn of events. As you can see, Jackson seems to be having that hook got him in trouble. Jackson seems to have a little trouble with this guy's left-handed style. Cardamone, although he's awkward, keeps swarming in, hoping for that miracle knockout. He's got to be very careful because Julian will set a trap for you. He's got a big, big punch, remember. He really got caught. That little left uppercut had gotten Julian in trouble. Buckle. Maybe Julian does have a suspect chin. We've certainly showed it with McClellan, but not with anybody else.
Round 2, Aaron Stowell, the chief trainer in Jackson's corner, saying, hey, you got hit with a good punch. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, the boxing expert from Rome told me one thing about this guard. He's got a huge heart, Cardamone. And so he's shown it. He's ready to battle with Julian Jackson. He's not backing off.
Best way in the past to fight Jackson is by working on the inside, taking his power away. Cardamone doing a nice job with the jab, looking to set up the left. And there it is. It was a glancing blow off the chin.
This fight is just starting, but Julian's showing kind of a perplexity about handling a left-hander. I mean, he shouldn't for the career he's had. He ought to know how to handle left-handers. He's getting hit by that left straight left right there. He just did it.
And there's a right that landed by Cardamone.
His right jab is popping. It's disconcerting Julian Jackson. Julian's kind of laying back too much, kind of waiting too much. Sign of an old fighter when you just can't snap off those punches like you used to.
Jackson got cut under the left eye. In the past, almost every punch thrown by Jackson with evil intent to KO his opponent. We have yet to see that here. Cardamone has been able to ward him off. But there's a combination by Cardamone.
Jackson again looking like a guy that's got his trigger on the hand on the trigger, but it's not coming off. I mean, he hasn't got that old Julian Jackson swarming style right now.
Jackson being cautioned for the moment by Marty Jenkins for hitting behind the head. Out of nowhere. He gets up at 7, wobbly, and it's all over. It is all over. Julian Jackson, who looked to be in trouble in the first round, wins it in the second.
Well, the hawk is back. There's no two ways about it. Just what we were saying. He can't pull the trigger. He finally pulled the trigger and only took one punch. Now that's got to be some kind of punch, because this kid's never been knocked out and has taken everything anybody gave him. So it's once again a European fighter that only fought in Europe, coming in with the best in America, and here it is. You know, Julian Jackson's fought the best, and he's been a great champion. So that one punch, Steve, that one punch finished him off.
It was thrown with evil intent.
It was.
The first loss for Agostino Cardamone in his 24th professional fight. Julian Jackson exults, rejoices, and a different story over in the Cardamone corner.
And let's add, one of the things that's happening is the referees are getting much more intelligent about things. Marty Denkin, always a great referee, stopped the fight. He could have just stepped back and let him continue because he got up, but he didn't. He held on to him. To let him go on would have been a chance injury. So that's another plus that we see with referees stepping in, stopping a fight when it should have been stopped. And a big applause for Marty Denkin, who's been around for many, many years and is now using all of his talents to stop a fight in time.
So Julian Jackson, whose talents have been questioned of late, certainly feeling that he is back in stride, but again, Ferdy, very difficult to measure against a fighter that we really haven't seen, that's fought overseas his entire career, and we really don't know the true quality of Jackson's opponent tonight.
Well, he certainly fought well the first round, no question about that, and he was doing very well the second, but Julian hadn't pulled the trigger. We're going to see in replays what actually did the job, and of course, that's vintage Julian Jackson. Vintage Jackson. Keep your eye on the hook. Julian looks like he wants to push. He wants to push. He wants to push. There's a left hook that misses, and that's a right hook that lands right on the jaw, and Julian says, that's it. You're not getting up. Now, that's a perfect right hook. He set it up by a miss. He missed an uppercut. Waiting. Now watch. He misses the left hook over the top, and then misses one, then comes back over. Perfect. You can't do it better than that. That's vintage Julian Jackson. That's what made him a great champion, and the Hawk is back. All we can say is the Hawk is back. He's now the WBC champion, middleweight champion. Big fights to come for him.
And here it is, Ferdy, from the overhead as number 2 beats number 1. And there it is, the thunderous right hand sending Cardamone flat on his back.
Well, you can hardly see anything more clearly the most spectacular effect of one punch than those 3 replays.
Julian Jackson has recaptured his WBC middleweight championship at the age of 34. They hug, they embrace. Cardamone speaks no English. And let's go over to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 50 seconds in round number 2. The referee in charge, Marty Denkin, stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout in regaining his world title. He is the new WBC middleweight champion of the world, Julian "The Hawk" Jackson.
So it is hugs and handshakes all around, and congratulations to Julian Jackson, who lifts his record to 51-3 with 47 knockouts. He regains the WBC